Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature that's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, top of the morning to you beautiful people. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where black folk do read. You put in a book like The Wealth Choice, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, the Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, The Study of Black Wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if. But if you do, I recommend that you choose to study wealthy people. We can find that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. While you're there, guys, you'll see a tab that says store. You can find other financial literacy books to be able to teach your children early what you might have learned late, or many of us haven't learned at all. And then you'll also see a tab that says join the club, where you can choose to walk away from the crowd of broke, busted, and disgusted and get with the few, because it's only going to be the few that's going to change the world for the many. Get with the few that's serious about building wealth, serious about building business, and super serious, first and foremost, about building ourselves. Check us out again at the Black Billionaires Club at theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. It's roll call time, beautiful people, so we can hop right into this thing here, the wealth choices. We'll be continuing our journey into the seventh law of wealth. Go and let us know where you're connecting from. What city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country you are connected from here this morning as we're broadcasting across the World Wide Web into Instagram, Facebook, and also YouTube. Understanding that worldwide simply means global, and we're reaching brothers and sisters all over the world. We're simply finding brothers and sisters who are looking for us, and we're providing value into our life as we continue to increase our wealth consciousness, become more attractive to wealth, because we don't chase money. Money chases us. Let us know where you're connected from here this morning. Also hit the like button, the share button, tag somebody, the heart button. Depending on what platform you is, you know what you can do. Go ahead and do that for us as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. All right, well, wake up. Everybody wake up, man. We got platform in to start reading. What you talking about? Anita Diane is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Miss Yvette Goodrich has joined us as well. Sister Vivian is in the hizzy. Happy Black Woman Wednesday as well to all the sisters that are out there. Mr. Weedle Walker is in the house over at Instagram. Thanks so much for joining us as well. Siobhan Audrey is in the house. Blessings to you, Queen. Vivian Reed again. Chandler. Teresa Hilliard out of Chandler, Arizona. My brother Gavin, all the way out of Australia, is in the building as well. Again, we're global people. Linda Tate Williams out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Grand rising to you, Queen. Thanks so much for joining us. Brother Mark Jones is in the building. Out of Baltimore City is in the house, man. Rep your city. Let us know where you're connected from, what city, what state, what country. Hit the like button, the share button, all the good stuff if you care. If you are your brother's keeper, you are your sister's keeper, you know that readers are leaders, and you want to help them say, hey, maybe you're not reading, but maybe you want to join in this morning. Maybe today is your day. Go ahead and hit that share button as well. Let people know that we are here. Brother Antoine Lowry is in the house doing his thing out there in Charleston, South Carolina, in the real estate field. Brother Wilhelm Watt has joined us as well out of Toledo, Ohio. Miss Sincere Newman over Instagram. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Out of Mableton, Georgia is in the hizzy. We are going to continue our journey this morning, guys, into the wealth choice. A book written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. And as I said, if you want to be wealthy, I suggest you study wealthy people. And this is a book where we're studying wealthy people. The seventh law of wealth, we're going to do a quick recap on the 6 laws that preceded this law as we're getting close to the end of this book, okay? Getting to the end of this book. Everybody put in the comments below, I choose wealth. I choose well, good morning to Miss Mankins Golden out of South Carolina is in the house. Miss Felicia Tate out of D.C. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's get it. So the first law, let's do a quick recap. The first law simply says this, that wealth begins in the mind. and it ends in the purse. Wealth begins in the mind, ends in the purse. We begin to understand that that as I level up in my mentality, as my mind, as my spirit, as my soul gets wealthier, then I begin to attract these things into my life. That means that I must be cognizant of what I read and what I watch, what I listen to, who I hang around, how I talk, how I walk, even how I dress sometimes. Right? I must be cognizant of these things to become a magnet for wealth into our life. Again, it's not success and wealth is not something that we pursue. It's something that we attract by becoming more attractive people. Right? Good morning to Miss Almanor. I choose wealth. The second law simply says this: decide now. This is decision law. Once we know better, we still have to decide to do better. Decide now that you will not be poor. Decide now. Everybody putting console now, N-O-W, in capital letters. Now, and identifying that acronym means no opportunities wasted. What happens we see across the world is that some of our counterparts, some of our brothers and sisters who find themselves broke, busted, and disgusted, they continue to pass over opportunity repeatedly. That's another acronym standing for poor. No opportunities wasted. Right? My life began to change when I started to seize opportunity. When I first had to see it, I recognized it. Then I began to do something with it. I recognized my life, my financial life, my income, my profits began to change. I used to think it was something outside of me. I used to think it was the government. I used to think it was taxes. I used to think it was all these other things, but I never really looked in the mirror and said, you know what? It's not those things. It's me. Now is all you have. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do now? The third law, the faith law. This one is a very difficult one for many people. Simply says this, right? That to believe in yourself when no one else will. Everybody put it down, so I believe in myself. Believe in yourself when no one else will. Everybody else might call you crazy. They called Kanye crazy for a long time. Believe in himself. Believe in yourself when no one else will. This is very difficult for many people. To simply believe in their gifts, their talents, their abilities. Believe the God that's in them. Believe in the greatness that's on the inside of you. I believe in myself. I don't care if you believe in me. If you don't believe me, just watch me. Matter of fact, your disbelief in what I can do or what's possible for me, it actually adds fuel to my fire. Because I believe in myself. I believe in the God who powers me. The fourth law. We call this the Lane law. It simply says this: to thine own self be true. Now we begin to understand in this law that there are plenty of paths that lead to wealth. There's plenty of paths that leads to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. What I must do is figure out my path and simply do what I do best. Everybody put in console, do what I do best. Whatever that is for you. Be the best at it. Be a leader in your field. Do what it is that you do best. Lean on your strengths, not on your weaknesses. I'm going to do what I do best. You know, one of the things that I do best, I teach. And you know what I do every day? I teach. Now I have a focus in the area of finance and investments, but I'm a damn good teacher. And I teach each and every day. Do what you do best. The fifth law, service law. We begin to understand here, this law simply says this: how may I serve thee? In the service law, we begin to understand the real secret to getting rich is simply to serve more people and to solve more problems. So if I figure out and discover what I do best and I do it, now I can go over to the service place where I can serve more people with my talents. I can serve more people with what I do best. And I can help them in a great way because I'm doing what I do best and I'm serving other people in my gift. It says a man's gift will make room for him and bring him before great men. Are you operating in your gift? So we learn in this law, we say, hey, you know what? Each and every day, if I do what I do best, I'm going to figure out today, right now, today, how can I do what I do best better today? And how can I do more of it? That starts to lead you to this thing called multiple streams of income, by the way. I'm going to do what I do best. Damn what I don't do good. I'm going to stop talking about what I don't do well. Let me focus on doing something, action, right? In the area that I'm skilled at, in the area that I do best. And then now that I've accepted this gift that I've been given, I'm going to do it more every day. And I'm going to do it better. I'm going to perfect my craft. Everybody put it down, so perfect your craft. I'm going to perfect it. And now I can offer it out in a lot of different ways, package it up a lot of different ways to make a difference in the world. The sixth law, as we move into this thing, the sixth law simply says this: own your own business. Now, this might be difficult for some people to comprehend. Everybody shouldn't own their own business. Well, just think about this for a second. If I'm doing what I do best, and I do it every day, and I get better at it every day, and I serve more people every day, will I not eventually get to the point where I outgrow my current position? Will I not get to a point where now people are flocking to me to help them in the area that I'm offering to the world and my best as I perfect my craft? Will I not put myself in position? Well, I must own my own business in the area that I'm great at. So for those that say, no, everybody may not necessarily own their own business because they may not work on themselves every day. They may not perfect their craft. They may not ever discover what they're great at, or at least accept it. That's on them. But we're not talking about them. Okay? We're not talking about them. We're talking about you. You're the one that's up at 7 o'clock in the morning to get this goodness. You're the one who's tuning in this morning. It's not them. We got millions of people still hitting the snooze button. So we're not talking about them. We're talking about you. Do what you do best. Service. Serve more people. Solve more problems. Do what you do best better today. Do what you do best more today. And then eventually, it is inevitable. You'll be sitting around like, okay, now I need to turn this to a business because now I got to teach other people how to do what I do best and help them do it better. There's another crowd of youngins that's coming in behind me. Now I can employ them to go out and do more. That's how I expand myself. That's how I duplicate myself in this world, is by teaching others to do what I do. Everybody put it down, so duplicate myself. You duplicate yourself through your mini-me. How many of you guys got a mini-me? How many guys got some mentees that you're teaching to do what you do because you do it, you're the best at it? And now you want to spread your seed around and create you some mini-me's. That's a business. Mini-me over here. I got mentee over here. I got a Leah Love in the house over here. I got a Gavin Freeland over in Australia. I got a Wilhelm Watt over there in Toledo, Ohio. I got all these little mini-me's. Duplicating myself. And what I do best, teaching them how to become teachers because they're great students. That's a business. And then we move into the seventh law, which we'll continue to move into today. The seventh law simply says this: make your money grow. Make thy money grow. Everybody put it down, so make my money grow. We're beginning to understand as we're going to continue our journey here, is that it's not just about earning money. Now, it's about growing money. Your money, earning money for you. While you're asleep, while you're up, while you're going to the bathroom, while you go to the mailbox, your money is working for you. Make your money grow. My mentor, Brother Warren Buffett, fourth richest man in the world, says this: if you don't learn how to make your money work for you or grow for you while you're sleeping, then you'll always be working for it. If you don't learn how to make your money work for you, you will always be working for it. How many guys say, you know what, I want to learn how to make my money grow? I've been picking cotton way too long. I've been punching the clock way too long. At this point in time in my life, I got to figure out how I can get to this space so I can retire. If I don't learn how to make my money work for me, if I don't learn how to make my money grow while I'm sleeping, I will not be able to retire. Or I'm going to be dependent upon Social Security and all these other things that ain't so secure at all if I don't learn how to make my money work for me. Brother Mari said, man, I have mentees, however, I teach them to be the best version of who the creator ordained them to be. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Make my money grow. New Black Wall Street Book Club. The Wealth Choice, the seventh law. Make thy money grow. Let's read. The task of building wealth may be daunting, but it's not insurmountable. Once you understand how to hold on to your economic power in the form of spending, saving, investing, your focus shifts. Everybody put in console focus. Now, there's plenty of people that are watching right now. They're beginning to understand to the point that their focus is shift. I mean, the whole pandemic might have caused a lot of people's focus to shift. Start focusing on what they know, they realize they do not need. And now they're stacking them coins, they're stacking their accounts, they're finding new ways to do business and all that stuff. Their focus has shifted. Matter of fact, when the economy opens back up, there's some people who are gonna go out and they're gonna spend their check, they're gonna spend their stimmy, they're gonna do what they do best, which is spend their money. Not you though. You're saying, I'm not going to go back to doing the same things I used to do. This little stimmy check, if you get one, I'm going to figure out a way how to make this thing multiply. That's the difference in focus. You're simply thinking about how you can grow your money. Other people are thinking about how they can spend it. Oh, what's out right now? What's the newest thing? What's the new shiny object? Not you. You are not like the rest of those people who won't even get up out the bed. Who won't even take a walk around the block for their health. I mean, my goodness, that's not you. You no longer concern yourself with every nickel and dime, but rather with the financial strategies that have and will create substantial wealth. On the surface, this may not sound like hard financial advice, but it is true. If you desire to join the Black financial elite, I suggest that you begin to shift your thinking. Rather than focusing on your lack of money, concentrate instead on your abundance of financial resources. As discussed earlier, whatever we envision expands. I urge you to take hold of the seventh law. By mastering this principle of wealth conservation, you are satisfying a crucial prerequisite to all that you desire. I have traveled extensively and observed a variety of diverse cultures. I've watched those who resent the affluent and wealthy, as well as others who consider wealth's magical charms the be-all, end-all, final destination of life. T.D. Jakes tells us in The Great Investment. I've experienced success and struggle, power, and poverty. I've thrived and been thwarted by a fluctuating economy. I've lived on both sides of the track, and my shoes have walked down shantytown streets and sidewalks paved with gold. I know that hard work and determination can overcome humble beginnings, and that circumstances beyond our control can tumble fortunes like a house of cards. For some, success was handed to them as they were born into wealthy families and were given chances and opportunities denied to most. I've seen people go from wealth to gross poverty through one bad business decision, one prolonged illness, one lawsuit, one problem child. Success is fragile. Success is fragile. Due in part to the 2009 recession. That was 2009. Obviously, we just had the 2020 pandemic. Every 10 years, more than likely, something is going to happen. The following data highlights far too many disturbing trends with regard to the current state of Black wealth. According to the Economic Policy Institute, as many as 40% of Black households had a zero or a negative net worth in 2009. Compared to their white counterparts, this economic gap, or wealth gap like we like to call it, has quadrupled in recent years. During this trial, the median wealth of white households stood at $113,000 compared to less than $6,000 for African Americans. I would venture to say to you today, that the solution to the wealth gap is to fix the knowledge gap. Our people perish for lack of knowledge. We're focusing on way too many things that's outside of us than to focus on the thing that we really could make a difference in by getting our knowledge up. Learning what we don't know about money, learning what we don't know about how to grow money, which many of us have not even been really introduced to other than a 401k. And we began to use these resources or these financial strategies so that we can actually close the wealth gap. So until we start doing that, it doesn't even matter if they give us reparations. You can say it matters for the temporary, but guess what? A fool and his money will soon part ways. So if you divvy up everything right now and you say everybody's got a fair shot, we started at the same amount, eventually that same thing would happen. The money would flow to the people who know what to do with it, and it will leave the hands of the people who don't know what to do with it. And ask yourself, do you know what to do with the money that comes into your hands? Now, of course, you might say yes. Of course, I'm going to pay my bills. But do you know how to grow that money? Have you learned how to grow your money? Have you learned how to protect your wealth? Do you really know what to do with the money that comes into your hand? Or, as many of us, are we still learning? Are we willing to learn? Great question to ask this morning. You fix the wealth gap by fixing the knowledge gap. The more you learn, the more you can earn. The more you earn, hopefully, the more you save and invest, not the more that you spend. But we know how that goes. In 2010, the Insight Center of the Community Economic Development released their report, Lifting as We Climb, Women of Color, Wealth in America's Future, which found that nearly 1/2 of single Black women have zero or negative wealth, meaning their debts exceeded their assets. How many guys are in a position right now, and of course, you're probably not going to answer this honestly, how many guys are in a position right now where your debts exceed your assets? You're underwater financially. You owe more than you own financially. And that really has nothing to do with racism. That has nothing to do with redlining. You can say all that at the end of the day, but you choose the things that you acquire. And many of us don't choose to acquire assets. We choose to acquire liabilities. Now, white supremacy can't fix that. They can't fix that. They can't fix what you choose to do with your money. That's your choice. That's your free will. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the book because I might be making too much noise this morning because y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to hear some other stuff. Y'all want to hear somebody tell y'all lies all the time versus tell you the truth. 1/4 of single Black women have no checking or savings account, and only 30% of single African American women are homeowners. Wow. Wow. How many guys know your number? When I say know your number, you got this little chart that you put down, and you say, over on this side, I got liabilities, all the stuff that I owe. And on this side, I got my assets, everything that I own. Have you ever done this for yourself? Now, my father put me on game with this. I'm going to give honor to whom honor is due. He said, man, it's important that you know your number. That you know your number. Don't wait until you go and go fill out a mortgage or go try to get a car loan or do all the stuff with credit and all that good stuff that you guys want to go fix and all this stuff. That's all fine and dandy. But do you know your number? Do you know your number, your net worth number? I'll venture to say that 95% of the people that are watching this right now do not know their number. They do not know their economic worth in the marketplace. That doesn't mean that's how valuable you are as a person. I'm talking about a number that relates to your assets versus your liabilities that you've accrued since this time that you've been working, that you have been here on this earth, probably since, let's say, you were 15, 16 years old, up until the point that you are right now, 40, 50 years old, right? What is that? How does that balance out? Do you owe more than you own, or do you own more than you owe? It's very simple. I'm telling you, this is what I would call a reality check. When you do this, right, we might have to do that in the BBC. We're going to have a project we're going to do to know our numbers in the BBC. By the fact, this is one of those things that punches you in the gut when you start thinking about your whole life of working, of acquiring something, some capital to be able to go pay for your lifestyle, and you start looking at, wait a second, what I owe versus what I own, or what I own versus what I owe. Now, just because the whole society lives in a state of debt does not mean that you have to. Matter of fact, many of us read this good book that says, "Owe no man nothing but love," but yet we still don't operate. We still don't choose to operate that way. I'm sorry, did I just refer to the Bible? Yes, it said, "Owe no man nothing but love." But yet you and I, many times in our life, we choose to voluntarily owe men something, which is our future earnings. We choose that. Okay, I'm sorry. Woo! Oh, Lord, I must be a certified financial educator or something. I don't know what's going on today. Okay, let me try to catch up on these comments. Man, the T said, I've been on a debt-free journey for almost 7 months, and it feels good. Feels good to pay myself and not the creditors. It feels good. You keep teaching $60,000. $6,000 my home will be paid off. $60,000 to go. Can I get some hand claps in the chat, please? Can I get some hand claps in the chat? We're gonna root our sister on. She on her debt-free journey. That is something to applaud. Can you get some hand claps in the chat, please? True indeed, before reparations or for it to be most beneficial, there should be restoration, repairing of the mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Know your numbers, right? Know your numbers. I'm positive. I'm in the positive. Absolutely, man. Glitter Tate Williams, I'm positive. Absolutely. Rich people don't need credit. Credit is for credit. Oh, Lord. Okay, man. Know your numbers. Absolutely, man. Did it back in October. Need to update, have some pay some stuff off and invest in more. Absolutely, man. Get your hand claps in the chat, please. We got some brothers and sisters that are on their way to the wealthy place. They're on their way to the wealthy place. Felt that coming? Absolutely. Yes, sir. Life is about mathematics. I stay on point with my numbers. We must stay in the positive, right? Must stay in the positive. Absolutely, man. That's what I'm talking about here, right? It's a game changer, man. When you know your numbers, I owe more than I own. That's why I was led here. Absolutely, Gavin. You in the right place, brother. You in the right place. Wait, we as a generation will stay broke, cursed, and sick of being tired until we only listen. Until we not only listen but take action, man. Oh no, man, nothing but love. I was like, it's a party, it's a party, it's a debt-free party, it's a party. Hey, it's a debt-free party, it's a party. Hey. All right, Dantes, man, preach. I was a hand claps in the chat. Absolutely, absolutely. Man, let's keep going. In 2009, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling stated that 51% of African Americans admitted they do not pay their bills on time, and 84% carry a monthly credit card balance. And after a peak of 50% in 2006, African American home ownership dropped to nearly 44%. As of this writing, many blacks are at least 2 months behind on their mortgages, placing them at risk for foreclosure. Others are dealing with subprime loans they no longer can afford. It has been estimated that 1.1 million African Americans will lose their homes, the number one generator of net worth and equity, by 2012. Not only are African Americans more likely to be unemployed and experience longer periods of joblessness, but as of March of 2012, our country's black jobless rate remained at 13.6%, well above the 9% national average. According to the recent Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC report, more than half of black households use alternative financial services, including payday lenders, check cashing companies, and pawnbrokers. 1 out of 5 black households lack either a checking or savings account. Only 1 in 4 African American own stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. Only 1 in 4. 25% of African Americans actually own stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. In other words, only 25% of African Americans invest. Of the 1.4 million individuals, right, who filed for bankruptcy in 2011, nearly 55% were African American. We might talk about the wealth gap, but there is a serious knowledge gap when it comes to this thing called money. And that's what I've been called to help fix. That's what the Financial Health Mentor has been called to help fix, help to decrease or to bridge the knowledge gap. And then the wealth gap will close as well. Part of all you earn is yours to keep. A part of all that you earn is yours to keep. Everybody put in console, pay myself first. Now, this is very difficult for some people because they want to argue that, you know what, no, I should pay the church first. Okay, well, I would say that, isn't there a God in you? Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. Isn't there a God in you? Pay yourself first. Now, I'm just saying, I'm not gonna go down that trail today. I could, but I ain't got that kind of time. I will break that down so many different ways. But again, I'm just gonna keep it there. Pay myself first. Because y'all know I want to go win. But it's only Wednesday, by the way. It's only, wait till Friday. When Friday get here, that's when I really go win. It's only Wednesday though. It's hump day. Part of all you earn is yours to keep. So what is the answer? How can you apply the life-changing seven principle of wealth in your life, in your finances? Here's a single key that not only made these black millionaires wealthy beyond their wildest desires, but permitted them to hold on to the vast majority of their earnings. After all, the overwhelming majority did not create their millions overnight, nor did they find themselves on the threshold of a 7-figure income because someone died or bequeathed a check. In fact, nearly 9 of the 10 explained that their wealth developed over time. Everybody put in console, over time. Over time. Over time. Right? How can you use and practice this final law of wealth that continually allows the well-to-do to stand on solid financial ground? The power of this principle cannot be overstated. Remarkably, this final law of wealth can be tracked back 6,000 years to ancient Babylonia. It was in the setting that Babylon, a city that was bordered by the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers and was the capital of the Persian Gulf, became the wealthiest city of the ancient world because its citizens were the richest people of their time. They appreciated the value of money. They practiced sound financial principles in acquiring money, growing their income, and building their net worth. The final accomplishments of those who lived in this region and time period would have been forgotten had it not been for the writings of the 20th century map maker, George H. Clason. Again, this is from the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, a book that I have been recommending for over 5 years, who still people don't go get. But anyway, if you want to get it, I do offer that. I do sell that book in our bookstore. George S. Clason was the creator of a series of short stories, which he called the Babylonian Parables. In the stories, he described the success secrets of the ancients and how they handled their financial affairs. Read by millions, this timeless book, The Richest Man in Babylon, has been hailed as the greatest of all inspirational works on the subject of thrift and financial planning. In 1926, almost 100 years ago, Clason, a successful Colorado businessman, began to explain the lost virtue of the thriftiness and the process of saving money to build wealth. He compiled his thoughts in pamphlets and distributed them through banks as well as financial community. After the stock market crashed in 1929 and the onset of the Great Depression, Clason's message had particular relevance as he sought to bring his financial advice to an expanded readership. By 1930, he compiled his favorite stories in what would be the best-selling book, The Richest Man in Babylon, publishing the 144-page tome through the company bearing his name. The short, allegorical self-help reader struck a chord with Depression-era consumers. Now, wouldn't that be useful for the COVID-19, the COVID-19 consumers, or those that had, or the 2009 recession consumers? It's still, again, this stuff happens in cycles over and over and over again. Who clamored for his easy-to-read financial advice and wisdom on wealth creation. Rather than writing in a dry business tone, Clason delivered his lessons through parables set in ancient Babylon. His premise was that today money is governed by the same laws. Everybody putting down, so the same. The more things change, the more they stay the same, and principles never change. Strategies may change. The application may change, but the principle itself never changes. This is why the book of Proverbs is so valuable, because those principles never change. They have stood the test of time for thousands of years. Principles never change. They stay the same. The same principle of spend less than you earn is the same principle is going to be here today, it's going to be here tomorrow, it's going to be here 100 years from now. Spend less than you earn. I don't know how many different ways we can say that. Spend less than you earn. Do you know how much you earn? Yes. This month, did you spend less than you earn? No. Okay, that's the problem. Do you know how much you earn? Yes. This month, did you spend less than you earn? Yes. Okay, you're on your way. It's really I'm telling you, these principles of financial accumulation, of wealth creation, it's only about 4 of them. I mean, we can read 20,000 books that have to do with financial literacy or education. It's still going to come down to about 4 principles. And one of those is spend less than you earn. Another one is pay yourself first. That's the same. So then it comes to say, well, hey, if these principles are the same, will I choose to abide by these principles or these laws? If I abide by these laws, well, then the laws work for me. If I don't abide by the laws, then I pay the consequences. Ask yourself, number 1, do you know the laws? Number 2, have you abided by those laws? It says in the good book, if ye hearken unto the voice of the Lord, means that if you will listen and obey what I say, if you do what I tell you to do, then you will be blessed. But then he also says, if you choose not to listen to me, which means you're going to play a deaf ear, and you choose not to obey, then you will be what? Cursed. That means that the onus is on the individual who chooses to or chooses not to. My mentor says this. He said, these things that we're talking about, these principles of building wealth, they're easy to do. They're easy to do. He said, but you know what? what's easy to do is also easy not to do. And 95% of the people that walk this planet choose easy not to do. It's a choice. It's a choice. And so guess what the 95% of the people do? 95% of the people who are broke, busted, disgusted, you know what they choose? They choose easy not to do, and then they choose the easy thing to do, which is complain or play victim or talk about what everybody else is doing to them, but not about what they're doing to themselves. Not about the choices that they make. Not about the contracts that they sign. Not about the things that they say they gotta have right now, and they're willing to mortgage their future to get them right now. They want, if they're having that conversation, oh no, we're gonna go back to sleep. No, we're sleeping on that. Okay, y'all want to start talking about the government? Okay, let's do it. Y'all want to start talking about Derrick Jackson? Oh, let's do it. But then we start talking about you and your choices and the things that you decide and the things that you sign your name on and the things that you choose for your life. Oh, we don't want to talk about that. Oh, you're talking about personal responsibility. Oh, you're talking about me taking control of my life. Who wants to do that? It's easier for me to talk about what everybody else is doing. But when I start looking in the mirror, oh no, I don't want to talk about that. Because that's going to require personal responsibility. That's going to require a little bit of this thing, this four-letter word that we don't like to hear. That's going to require a little bit of work. Now, here's what Frederick Douglass said. He said, there is no progress without struggle. And we can identify this word struggle in this particular sense as sacrifice. So let me ask you this. When it comes to the concept of financial freedom or financial independence, when it comes to the concept of building wealth for yourself and your family, when it comes to these concepts that we're talking about, or these ideas, are you willing to sacrifice your current way of doing things to acquire the way that works so that you can get what you say that you want? Here's my question for you. How bad do you really want it? How bad do you want to be financially free? How bad do you want to be debt free? How bad do you want to wake up to more new money every day? Is it worth the sacrifice? Is it worth the struggle? The struggle for freedom. The struggle to have options. Is it worth it to you? The short allegorical self-help reader struck a chord with Depression-era consumers who clamored for his easy-to-read financial advice and wisdom on wealth creation. Rather than writing in a dry business tone, Clayson delivered his lesson through parable sets in ancient Babylon. His premise was that today money is governed by the same laws that controlled it when prosperous individuals thronged the streets in Babylon 4,000 years before Christ. To this day, the book remains popular, gaining exposure as new generations of readers pick it up, learn from it, and apply the principles contained within. The secret to prosperity, the author pointed out, is to believe that practice is axiom. Part of all you earn is yours to keep. Learn to live on less than you make and save the balance for yourself. So what would you do to become a millionaire? Most people will reply with a variety of answers, some difficult and challenging. What if I mentioned that keeping track of your weekly or monthly expenses could and would add to your earnings? Would you do it? I would hope so, but the sad truth is that most people would not make this simple effort. With the addition of one important element, saving and investing, this is the fundamental strategy that the Black financial elite practice on a daily basis. It is not enough to earn a decent living, or even a living that is beyond decent. Black millionaires take their earnings and put them to work. It is no wonder their nest eggs continue to increase. Why? Because money goes where it is treated best. Money goes where it is treated best. Money goes where it is treated best. How do you treat your money? What is your relationship with your money? 95% of people are going to get paid on Friday, and they're going to squander all the stuff that comes into their hands, even beyond the point where they know that next week is time to pay the mortgage. But they're so hell-bent on having a good time while they're sobbing on the 1st, they're having a good time on the 24th. Now, they had the money. It was available. It came into their bank account. They had the stimmy. So why on earth are you on the 1st asking people to borrow money from so you can pay your mortgage when you had the money? You know what you didn't have? You didn't have the discipline. You know what you didn't have? You didn't have the discipline. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Well, black folk do read 30 minutes a day to keep broke and stupid away. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share something that you learned today. Your takeaway from today's experience on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. We don't do this just to do this, beautiful people. We do this to make a difference, to make an impact, to change for the better. And we understand that as we change, as we get better, things get better. As we get better, our bank accounts get better. As we get better. We're not waiting on somebody else to do something for us that we can do for ourselves. I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time and why? Was this worth your time and why? While you guys are answering that, I'll make sure that I let you guys know. I know I talk much faster than you type, so we'll go over here and let you guys know about our sponsors who are committed to helping this thing stay afloat. Right? We saw that Reading Rainbow is no longer here. That doesn't mean somebody can't pick up the baton and keep on running with that thing that LeVar Burton started. And that's going to be us. We're going to do this thing together. We're going to make sure that our people are exposed to the literature that changes generations. Okay? So make sure you check out BBC TV. I'll put that link in the comments below. That's where you're going to find plenty of literature. That'll be me. That'll be the Financial Health Mentor. We got stuff on fashion. We got cooking shows, all type of stuff. We're going to be our own media. That's right. Because brother Claude Anderson said the first level of this thing called Powernomics is media. What is influencing you and I's decision? What are we seeing? What are we hearing? That's media. Okay? Shout out to the Black Bazaar, one of our sponsors. Afrocentric Marketplace, specializing in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, also Black art inspired gifts. You can choose to buy black there. You can choose to shop black there. A black man owned business, of course, that's my business, by the way. I sponsor my own stuff. Check them out at www.theblackbazaar.com. www.theblackbazaar.com. Blackberry Charisma, black woman-owned business, said, you know what? This is important. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. This is something that we need in our community. We need to pick up the baton. So she put her money where my mouth is to sponsor this show. Blackberry Charisma specializes in custom crafts to be able to help you with branding and marketing so you can stay on top of mind in front of your consumers and buyers, right? She also has a pretty dope lineup of lingerie. Check her out at blackberrycharisma.com, www.blackberrycharisma.com. 5 Factor Consulting, another black woman-owned business, says, you know what? This is important. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to help this thing stay afloat so we can continue to bring literature that's valuable to our community, and our community can share it out. 5 Factor Consulting is going to be able to help you to fix the money problem, right? To be able to help you to repair your credit, to increase your cash flow, to lead you down a path that you can get to. If you aren't going to do it by yourself, get some help to be able to help you, lead you to the wealthy place. Check her out at 5factorconsulting.com. That's www.5factorconsulting.com. And then Big Sis Media. Many of you guys find yourself operating like it's 1999 and we're in 2021. We're in the digital age. It's time for you to upgrade that website. Time for you to upgrade your flyers. Time for you to upgrade your commercials. Time for you to upgrade your trailers. Well, Big Sis Media can help you with that. There would be no brand of ERGJ as you see all the stuff that might be coming on the screen as we have a production if there was not a Big Sis. So check her out at www.bigsismediagroup.com, www.bigsismediagroup.com. Let's catch up on these comments, man. What did you take away today before we get up out of here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club as we've been going through The Wealth Choice, all right? The Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. All right. So Mr. Antoinette Ross's boss said, money goes where it's treated best, energy flow. Money goes where it's treated best. Gavin Freeland said, I heard about that book. I just went and downloaded $1.13. Let me go ahead and figure out what they talking about over there, Rich Man Babylon. You see, Gavin, that's why he's my mentee, right? You know when Gavin went and got it? As soon as he heard about it. You know when I went and got the book? As soon as I heard about it. You know where many people go get the book? Never. That's why? We don't know why. We don't know why. Some people do, some people don't, most people won't. I'm just saying, please don't be like most people. But it's still your choice at the end of the day. It's your money. What you choose to do with it, how you choose to spend it, how you choose to waste it, how you choose to invest in it, that's your choice. Totally irresponsible, no discipline, spending all the money, right? Broke and stupid away, absolutely. It's worth my time. I learned about, I believe in myself, absolute party all time, right? Know your numbers and pay yourself first, right? That's what we're talking about here, man. Tisha, thank you. Says Tisha, right? You are very inspiring. I appreciate it. I'm here for the village. BBC TV is one-stop shop. She love. Yes, worth my time. Decisions continue to perfect me so I can spread the wealth and love with others, right? Always more valuable than a little bit. I got to change my schedule. I think I overdosed on BBC yesterday. Absolutely. Mark Jones, always worth my time because knowledge is wealth. Paying oneself first is utmost important. Oh, no man, nothing but love, right? Fixing the wealth gap, fixing the knowledge gap. Right, gap first, well worth my time. Miss Felicia Gardner. Yes, as we get better, our circumstances, our livelihood, our finances get better. Lead by example. Let's not part ourselves out of our homes or out of our blessings. BBC TV, absolutely. Brother Lowry, always worth my time as we need to live below our means and do a weekly budget to stay on track of our finances. I say absolutely. Let's tell you what, yes, simple concept. Spend less than I make, and I make investments for multiple streams. Don Tess, this is wonderful work. Keep the iron hot. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, man. No problem at all, man. Love Big Sis. Mark Jones, show money some respect. I like that. Show money some. That sounds like a t-shirt. All right, that sounds like a Blackberry Charisma t-shirt. Show money some respect. Can I get that? Okay. I have a solid and strong relationship with your money. Add discipline with money to my regimen. Thank you. Absolutely. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club where Black folk do read. You put it in the book. Like the Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, Certified Global Financial Educator, as we prepare for the Financial Health Mentor. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts right here. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. It's time to get up, get out, and go get something. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club with your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street. Book club.